What a week it has been here in the DMV.
You know I got them wideouts.
And we'll get to hear from Jahan Dotson.
And the fans got me fired up and they can't put me out.
Plus, training camp starts this week. Let's go.
It is my pleasure to formally introduce the new owner of the team and managing partner of the Commanders, Josh Harris.
I feel a tremendous sense of responsibility to this city to win championships, to create a positive impact on the community, and create great experiences and memories for future fans, just like I had growing up as a kid.
Thank you, John! Thank you, John! Thank you, John! Thank you, John! Thank you, John!
An incredible moment in this franchise's history. How you doing, everyone? Michael Jenkins, Santana Moss, Fred Smoot, Logan Paulson. Guys, you were there. You have to tell me what that was like to experience all that fandom and energy.
I mean, the energy was crazy. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but to see the fans come out there, it kind of felt like 2012-ish again. Yeah. Everyone's super excited, super optimistic for everything that's going on. So I was a little surprised. I was pleasantly surprised, and I'm just really happy for the fan base. And they came out and showed their support for the new ownership group, and that was fantastic.
Well, it started off, it felt like the king and queen of England when they introduced themselves to the players. It was very majestic.
Yeah.
But then I went outside and it was bedlam. It was crazy out there. The energy, you could cut it with a knife. And I had to compare it to when Coach Gibbs came back for the second time. When I was here, that's the energy I felt when I was out there.
And it was also so different in the sense that they're all signing autographs. They're all in the crowd. They're all people hanging on them. And I was just like, that's not what I expected from that group.
I didn't know what to expect. I never saw no ownership change, and I didn't know what to expect as far as just from knowing how many fans we haven't had around the last few years. But to see already the start of bringing that new energy in, seeing those fans back, I'm looking forward. You know what I mean? I have so much to look forward to now, but I'm just great everything, we could put that behind us and now move a step forward.
Yeah, Mr. Harris grew up a fan of this team, a childhood dream to own this team. Here's what else he had to say at his introductory press conference.
As a kid who grew up in Chevy Chase, Maryland, I've been a fan of this team for as long as I can remember. One of my first memories was walking down East Capitol Street with the rest of the fans, going into RFK Stadium. We couldn't make the 20-year waiting list, so we didn't have season tickets. There literally was a 20-year waiting list. Hearing the crowd, feeling the rumbling of the stadium, and it really had an indelible mark on me as a human being. I grew up with Sonny Jurgensen, Billy Kilmer, Joe Theismann, Mark Rippon, Doug Williams, Joe Gibbs, the Hogs, Darryl Green, John Riggins, and the rest of these legends, and 3 Super Bowl championships.
Time for our mission debrief presented by FedEx, where now meets next. You just heard from the new majority owner, Josh Harris, and how he grew up cheering for the legends on this squad. So you guys were out there amongst those legends, Santana. What was that like?
It was dope. It was dope to see the guys come back. Honestly, man, I'm on loss for words. I wanted to find something that really gave me that example that I felt. You know what I mean? It was really dope to see the guys come back. It was dope just to hear some of the conversations that was going on in the locker room before we got a chance to, introduce Josh and everyone else. But like I said before, I'm looking forward just to see the change because I haven't felt anything like this in a long time.
Yep, and I gotta say, it was good to see Darryl Green, which I see him all the time, but a lot of people don't get to see him. So to see Darryl, to see Charles Mann, he's another guy that hasn't really been in the fold. So just to see a lot of guys that you haven't seen a lot of, and I can tell you this too, these guys, once we got in there, they split each other's tables by who had rings and who didn't have rings. So me and Santana sat at the top. Guys sat together. And Doug, and everybody, they sat over there. So you know how it goes.
Yeah, and I think it's just great for these older guys to kind of have an opportunity to kind of get back together and be part of the Commanders community. I think a lot of guys were concerned that they were going to be left behind with the name change, with the rebrand. And here it is. The new ownership group said, hey, everybody come on back. We want this history. And for them to acknowledge it, I thought was very, very special and exactly the right thing to do.
I think that's key too, because you look at so many other teams that went through changes like that, and all that history was lost,
wiped away.
And I love the fact that Washington fans is not going to allow them to lose out on all the memories that they had here. The guys before us who won the championships. And like I always say, they give us so much love in the streets, but we didn't do anything. We didn't win nothing. So I'm happy that our fans have always stayed strong with just the love that they had for the guys who started it all.
And to that point, it's great that Harris and that group, there are fans there. There's guys that grew up in the area that know how important that is, and they enjoy the legacy, and they want the legacy to continue.
And
so
they know the history.
Right,
That's the key to. They live the history. That's what they did.
You talk about dreams coming true. Check out this post from minority owner Mark Iron, who's been in the sports scene forever. Imagine growing up with someone like these guys did, grew up together, and here they are owning an NFL team, their NFL team.
That's a dream come true.
Yes.
Like, I'm sure one day they said, you know what, in 5th grade,
I don't think
we're going to buy the Washington.
I don't think they even dreamt that.
I mean,
those dreams.
oh my gosh,
there,
that's
man.
crazy. That's
awesome.
crazy. That's unbelievable.
That's
Good for them.
Unbelievable. Well, if you want to read about this new ownership group's top 3 priorities, make sure you head to commanders.com. Fred, I know you are still fired up.
Mind blown. Time for Fred Fired Up, presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of your Washington Commanders. Welcome to Fred's Fired Up. And I think I'm fired up. I ain't fired up like this fan base is fired up. I can feel the energy in the air. Thank you, Josh Harris. Thank you, Magic Johnson. Thank you, Mitchell Rail. You have rebirthed a fan base. I personally haven't seen it that on fire since Joe Gibbs came back. What about you?
It's me, 2012, when Robert Griffin III was here.
Ooh, Bobby 3-6. What about you?
Since my first year here in 05.
05, man. It's been a minute, man.
Well, you know what? When you got a lot of fire, you better call the fire department and bring some fire trucks. Because we, the DC Lights, we on fire, baby.
Hey man, Washington, we went crazy, man. The Legends came out, Commanders came out, the whole city came out. It's a movie. Video coming soon, and DC, we will be back. Good luck to the Commanders this season.
Fred, you were fired up about the fan rally last week, but you were pretty hyped up about these one-on-ones you were doing here. We got to take a look at this.
Well, you know, I give away game for free right there, G.
What could you possibly be telling this kid right now?
I'm telling you right now.
Tell me about to get beat.
To line up inside to save yourself a lot of problems right there. Because these guys out here running 1 route, 2 routes, 3 routes. I was just trying to get him a mental stance and get him ready for the challenge that was coming.
Love it, yeah.
Well, cornerback Cam Curl, linebacker Milo Eifler out there with you guys as well. And Tana, you were a coach out there, so tell me what it's like to be out there amongst these kids and be able to share some of that knowledge.
It was a fun experience, man. You know, just to know what was on the line. These guys had a chance to win $10,000.
That's crazy.
This kid I'm talking to, he's twitched up. I saw his route. I told him, like, he tried to make the route and the catch perfect.
Do they know you when you were out there?
Yeah. Surprisingly, yeah. You know, I came out there, I looked like some of the kids. You know? But some of them look older than me. But no, man, it was fun to be out there. Great experience, and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
Logan, let's say you were out there, one-on-one. You going with Fred or Tana?
In terms of coverage, or
Oh, he already know. I'm scoring.
dude,
No.
Tana would route
Like,
Fred.
No, I'm using straight brain power.
Fred, your feet Fred, remember these feet? They don't work anymore.
They do
Tana's
hurt.
still got 2 working feet.
But
so,
guess what? I got a brain, and I know how to stay out of trouble. That's what it's about.
I remember the first time Fred came back to the team. Yeah, boy, I've been waiting for this moment. And I gave it to him.
Don't forget, he'll tell you, I had just broke my jaw too. So I literally didn't have any balance. He routed me up.
Did he win? Yeah, okay, that's all I care about. Yeah.
That's what you care about?
I ain't said nothing to him. I just rounded him up.
Well, speaking of one-on-ones, this Commanders receiver room could definitely be a problem this season. That's right. Let's start with Jahan Dotson and what he did this past year. The 16th overall pick in 2022, had an impressive rookie season. You got veteran Terry McLaurin coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons and a trip to the Pro Bowl. And let's not forget about Curtis Samuel. He's been a gadget player, but what can he do in this new offensive system? With all that talent and depth, we have to get Santana's take on these receivers.
This is Tana Takes, brought to you by the Washington Times. Welcome back to another episode of Tana Takes. It's your boy, 8 to the 9. Got my usual suspects, Fred, Logan.
What are these gloves doing on, man? What's going on?
Fred being Fred, a nut. Well, fellas, you know how I do this thing. Hey, first of all, before I get started, I'm so happy that football is back.
It is
We
back.
finally get a chance to talk about something a little more with a little more substance. You know, and I just can't wait. So let me go and get started. You know how I do this thing? Let me know what you think after I give you my take.
All right.
First one, Commanders' depth at wide receiver. Now look,
Yep.
You got Terry, you got Jahan, and you got
Curtis.
Sam.
Yep.
And to think you got De'Ami Brown still here.
Yes.
And you got Dax Mim, who can be a for sure slot receiver. I think you rarely see a team that has two difference makers at the receiver position on one team.
Yep.
This team got three of them. We got three in the possible. Because if De'Ami Brown be De'Ami Brown, we know from Carolina, behold, you know what I mean? This guy can really go out there and flat out be a burner. And then you got a guy who I think who's a for sure. He showed us his rookie season. Dax Mim, he's a for sure catcher. He's a great wide receiver asset to have with a group of studs. I think we pretty much loaded. You know, most teams don't got two guys, and we got 4 or 5 guys. So I think our depth is pretty good.
Yep.
I think it's a fire take. I do got a question though. You know, with Jahan's injury and Curtis's kind of his usage pattern, like, do you think this is an elite group? Or do you think it's real depth, or do you think that's going to be maximized by?
Ooh, great question. I think it's elite depth because you can use them in like 3, 4, 5 different ways. I think that what make them so elite, and I think Curtis is gonna get his respect at wide receiver this year more than people gave him. So I call it ice cold.
Ice cold.
In the mortal words of Andre 3 Stacks. Ice cold. Yes, most definitely.
Yes, sir, I like that one. All right, second one, fellas. Terry McLaurin made it to the top 100 of the NFL.
Yes.
You know what? First of all, let me just say this. We thought he got snubbed last year.
We did.
And we understand.
And he probably was.
We understand that with Terry been in the league for 4 years. This is year 5. And he already had more quarterbacks than he had years playing in the league.
7, 8 quarterbacks. Oh, 10. Oh, congratulations, Terry.
10. So to be honest, I'm gonna say about time. And being that he was picked 94th out of 100 and already done called his name, and you haven't seen some of the other receivers in this division name called, so that means that he's gonna have probably 2 or 3 guys in front of him from this division. That's where it kind of, I feel he's snubbed again, because I think he's not the second or third best NFC East receiver. I think he can be 1A or 1B to AJ Brown. And to not see AJ Brown called yet, and to not see the guy from the Cowboys,
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb called yet.
I brought him up, Fred.
To me, I'm thinking those guys will probably get picked later on, and Brown might be a top 50 guy. Who knows? But I think he has that caliber of play, and he showed that from 2 different places, being in Tennessee and being here in Philly. So but I still think job well done for Terry. About darn time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Terry, but I'm also a little bit sad because I think Terry is constantly overlooked in his skill set here, right? He's, like you said, he's probably the 1A, 1B with AJ Brown in terms of best receiver, and I bet you Brown's top 50. And
we talked about it also, and I didn't mean to cut you off about the sexy vote. You know what I mean? Not getting enough recognition because he ain't flashy. We ain't making that much noise over here in Washington. But he's steady, consistently going out there dominating guys and being a leader.
And he doesn't have the ace quarterback in the hole. He don't got Jalen Hurts throwing him the ball. He don't got Dak Prescott throwing him the ball. That's why I give him even more respect. I give him the Jordan crying face. and this is tears of joy. This is not a pain.
Oh, okay.
All right, tears of joy.
All right, good one, fellas. Last one, baby. Last one, but not least. Jahan Dotson's sophomore season.
Can't wait to hear this.
Now look, we saw what he can be, how explosive he stepped onto the scene, coming out the gate those first few games. Then he had a little hiccup. He had a little hamstring. We all have those experiences, man. I know I had a few hamstrings in my day. I'm pretty sure you had one. I'm pretty sure you had one.
They don't feel good.
They're not pleasant. But the one thing that jumped off the screen to me is just seeing how he finished last season. Now to think, with all that being said, what he did his freshman, or I call it freshman, his rookie year. Now to have EB's offense and to be getting favorable matchups with Terry being number 1.
With the third and the second corner.
He has no choice but to go to the moon. He's going to take off. He's going to take off because I feel like, one, he might be the best route runner in the NFC East. Don't take my word for it, but I'm just letting you know, watch him and you tell me. And just to have another stud on the side of him as Terry, you cannot pick and choose who you gonna double. You better double Terry because he gonna kill you every time. And if you want to get sassy and say I'm gonna double this guy, then Terry gonna have a fine day. I think Jahan Dotson has no choice but to take off his sophomore season with this offense and knowing to be the second guy to Terry McLaurin.
Stud.
That's
what this means.
That's all I like.
Stud. You see what I switched it up right now?
I like
He's a stud, and he's going to grow into a stud.
Yeah.
I call him a faster, Keenan McCardell.
I like that. Yeah, touchdown because he's going to score a lot of touchdowns this year. Was dominant in the red zone, and I think he's just poised for an excellent sophomore season.
That's a good one. I played
like
with Keenan. Keenan also coached me. Savvy is all I know.
I get open
Route
by any
running,
means necessary.
Route you up in the phone booth. Got hand. I mean, precise.
Stay flat. Always chest right. Everything good.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Well, as always, fella, we had to keep this one tight. I appreciate your time. That's a wrap. Time to take.
Love hearing those guys talk it out. Now, with all of this receiver talk, let's take a deeper dive into Dotson's numbers. The stud rookie out of Penn State had himself a season, putting up a team-leading 7 touchdowns through 12 games. Then he earned Pepsi Rookie of the Week honors in both his NFL debut against the Jags and again in his Week 15 performance against the Giants. Dotson caught up with Fred and London Fletcher on what we can expect from him in year 2.
Yeah, we here with one of my favorites, Jahan Dotson. I used to call him Jahan. At the end of the day, how was your first off season, coming into your second year? What did you do this off season, and how do you feel about coming back in?
Yeah, I got a lot of time to be by myself, really learn from my tape last year and just be ready to capitalize on the things that I wanted to do better in year 2 than I did in year 1.
Yep, and I think year 1, what you did show is your tempo and route running. Yep. You showed that you can close in the red zone. What else do you want to add to the arsenal to take your game to the next level?
Yeah, I want to be an every down receiver. I want to be a guy who they can't take off the field.
All right.
I want to be able to be in the run game, be in the pass game, be able to do everything for our team to be in positions to win.
Your second year in the league, already going through 2 different offenses.
Yep.
What's it been like for you learning Eric Bieniemy's offense, thus far?
Yeah, it's completely different. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people it's like learning a new language, but it's extremely fun. I'm loving every moment of it. I truly get to learn from such a great mind, a guy who's done it at a very high level, at the highest level. So I'm truly ecstatic for the opportunity.
And you got a new wide receiver coach, Bobby Ingram. I played against Bobby.
Tell Bobby I shut him down. That's how you talking about. Tell him I told him to put some pocket in his pants. That where his hand was going to be at.
What's it like, having a guy at that position? Bobby, he played it, and just his teaching and coaching.
Yeah, it's great. Bobby coming from Penn State too.
Yeah.
Heard a lot about him when I was there. So I'm pretty familiar with him. He had a great career at Penn State, great career in the NFL. I'm like I said, just like learning from EB, I'm ready to learn from such a great mind. I know he has a lot to offer, a lot to teach me. So I'm all ears, and I can't wait to join this ride.
Give us an insight on saying how you came in with him. Y'all was rookies together. I'm sure y'all have a relationship.
Yeah.
Like when you come in and the guy part of your class, you always got a relationship. Tell me what you've seen from him thus far, and what the fans can get ready for when it comes to Sam.
Yeah, he's a special talent.
Yeah.
I truly believe it. I always tell people he makes every throw on the field look so easy. He makes it look effortless. His arm talent is insane, and he's just getting better. He's getting smarter every single day, and he's getting more comfortable with us. I feel like once he gets comfortable with everyone, the sky's the limit.
You can catch Dotson and all the guys at training camp starting tomorrow. That's right, training camp is finally here, and we are bringing you all of the action. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning for Command Center camp coverage live, kicking off at 9 a.m. The guys are going to break down practice, get exclusive player interviews, and you will see everything as it happens. Tune into the Washington Commanders YouTube and Facebook channels and on Twitter as well for all of our live coverage. So training camp, finally after the wait, is here. And you guys on the Command Center podcast, we're talking about which position groups you wanted to see most. You had a bracket going on and everything, Logan.
Yeah, we did have a bracket, and I think the winners were, coaches and quarterbacks, right? And I think that's a little bit obvious, right? Everyone wants to see Sam Howell, what he's going to do, but also the coaching. I think Jack Del Rio, obviously very innovative, but everyone's got their eyes on Eric Bieniemy, what he's going to do, kind of bringing this offensive along and using all those playmakers, right?
Well, first of all, and you can't forget about the DB.
Yeah.
Like, you can't talk Washington defense without talking about the defensive backs. But I also like that tight end room, because that tight end room intrigues me. Because I think you got 3-4 different type of guys that can make plays.
Yeah, quarterbacks was always going to be key, but I think the guys who I wanted to see the most was the receivers and the DBs.
Yeah.
But quarterbacks has to be the one that's leading it,
It's such an important part of this offseason, right, for this team, right?
Yep.
You guys are excited, fans are excited, but we found the most excited fan of all. We got to bring her in, a special guest.
Special
Come
guest?
on over here, Goldie! There we go.
baby. There we go.
She likes Shakes better than you, Fred.
Not really.
Yeah, Fred said he's a whisperer.
That's the DB's number. She
Oh,
got
yeah,
her.
come on
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Yeah.
She said, I gotta give all y'all some love.
Look at
That's
Goldie.
a good-
She's ready to go. And that's going to do it for Command Center. We're going to entertain Goldie. She's going to entertain us. We'll see you for our live coverage starting tomorrow morning.
She got on that D-Hall.
Hi, I'm Jeff Dick, Chairman and CEO of Main Street Bank. Every dollar we touch is not our own. Every dollar represents the countless hours spent on the construction site, late nights in the office, time away from family and friends. Remembering this keeps us in touch with what we do and who we do it for. At Main Street Bank, we are honored to be stewards of our clients' dreams, aspirations, and their money. Bank where trust matters and where you matter.